turned up to create a country that doesn't starve people to the death if they're the least well-off in society. We turned up for a country that will build houses, strengthen our schools, universities, colleges, and the NHS. We turned up for hope. We've called this demo to tell people exactly what we've all voted for and what, when Labour win the next election, will create. I don't think anyone needs to be reminded that education, as Nelson Mandela said, is one of the most powerful tools to change the world. And this government knows that. And that's why they limit education to be for the very few and not for the many. That's why they're okay with children sitting in their classrooms hungry. That's why they're okay with working class students going to university being saddled in astronomical amounts of debt, while the Italians can go there for absolutely free because it means nothing to them to pay £9,000 a year. I've worked in a school and I've seen it for myself. I've seen teachers having to pay from their own pockets pens and pencils and food for students to come in the morning. It's not rhetoric, it's a reality when we talk about students being hungry. It's a reality when we talk about students being missed out. And this government has absolutely no solutions. When they talk about grammar schools, when they talk about 6.8p for a free breakfast of cornflakes for a child, when Ian Duncan-Smith spends £39 of taxpayers' money for his own breakfast and he only got 6.8p for a child. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Young families often need the most support, and many people under the age of 18 will soon join our electorate and will not forget this injustice. Child poverty cannot be a part of any progressive society. Alongside this, the poorest third is bearing the brunt of the cuts at 67%, while 80% of the tax giveaways are going to the richest half. These facts combined means that young people are getting a terrible deal 2 times over. We are being hit from every side. We have a hung parliament right now, and we are about to get into a government in cahoots with the DUP, a situation no one voted for, not even the Conservatives. With our high turnout last week, we managed to knock the Tories down a few pegs. So in the coming months, let's join together and knock them off the ladder completely.
My favourite question that I'm asked is Theresa May. She's a woman. She's a Prime Minister. Isn't she like a feminist icon? Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. Since 2010, £79 billion of austerity cuts have gone to women. 13 billion to men. That is not a woman who stands for women. By 2020, 86% of cuts will have affected women adverse to 14% for men. Theresa May does not represent women. Now, we're here today because of the possible deal between Theresa May and the DUP. I want to use a swear word right now, but I'll just say, hell no.
My name is Sabrina, and I'm from the Yemeni community. I hope that what I have to say today, I speak on behalf of my community. I am a proud granddaughter of my granddad was the first generation to work in the steelworks in the 1960s. Yemeni to take the jobs that nobody else wanted. 80 hours a week for just £6 a day. Because he believed a better future for us. I'm going to be honest, guys, I am actually a first-time voter. I have never voted in my life. I believe that all these politics were corrupt. None of these politicians like Tony Blair really put my faith in the system. And for someone like me, my family qualities were
You just made the best of every situation regardless of what government you were under.
It's shattered the myth that there is no alternative. Even they are turning around and saying that austerity may have to come to an end. We've been saying it for years. I'm happy they're finally catching up. The myth that the media and Rupert Murdoch decides which way elections go in this country. Well, no, it turns out that millions of people having conversations, sending messages to each other are more powerful than any number of billionaires with any number of newspapers. It shattered the myth that young people are apathetic. Once again, no. It is not that young people and old people and other people and everybody. And it turns out it isn't that our young people are apathetic, it's that they weren't given hope. They weren't given an option on the ballot paper that they could believe in. An option that promised them a future that they were part of creating. And I'm proud to say that we had that option, and millions of young people turned out because of it.
We have seen Theresa May enabling the state-sanctioned abuse of women at Yarlswood Detention Centre. We have seen domestic violence services slashed under Tory austerity. We have seen a Tory MP attempting to filibuster a bill against violence against women and girls. We have seen mothers, as Sophie touched on, forced to fill out an 8-page form to declare that their third child was conceived due to rape in order to prevent their child tax credits being taken away from them. It is estimated that by 2020, as Moya says, women will have shouldered 85% of the burden from the Tories' slashing of the benefit system, a move that will affect working-class women the hardest. We have seen that the Tories have allowed their mainstream media allies to atrociously harass Diane Abbott over the course of this election, showing how sexism intersects with racism in the popular press. My solidarity is with Diane Abbott.
People of every class and creed voted Labour in this city. We voted for a country that works for everyone. We've got a city that will work for everyone. But only if we work together. The Tories will try and take the rights we fought hard to preserve. A right for a weekend, to fair pay for our work, to hours that let us lead a fulfilling life outside of work. To stop this, we have one option. Unionise, unionise, unionise.
I think, and you won't like this, but Jeremy Corbyn makes mistakes. I think he made a bit of a boo-boo putting Diane Abbott up there when she wasn't very well. Because I think, no, you can boo, lovey, I don't care. But politics is strategy. You have to be clever, because they are clever and they are bloody sneaky. And you have got to be like them. I don't want you to be like them, but there has to be an element of that, because they are sneaky. People need our help. Jeremy needs our help, wonderful though he is, but we can't let this bugger win. We can't let any of them win, because my grandchild, I want good schools. I want an NHS for all of us. I want people who are vulnerable to feel safe. And the Conservative model is, if I can do it, you should. But we're not like that, are we? We have challenges in life. We come from dysfunctional families. We are not all talented and capable. And I'm sorry if that sounds awful, but we are vulnerable and we need help. And any government who does not support us in that, and I'm sorry if I'm getting carried away, but I'm passionate, and I have spent time canvassing where I can, but please don't let this lot win.
Northern Irish person, it's genuinely so great and heartwarming to see so many people finally throwing shade on the DUP and reacting with horror, concern and disgust. Although I should add that these criticisms would have been welcome decades ago, but better late than never. So in this short speech, I'm going to talk about the DUP stance on LGBT rights. Growing up in Northern Ireland as a gay person, this is an issue very close to my heart and I feel like has had a profound impact on me. But the first thing that I want to stress is that the DUP does not represent the views of the general public of Northern Ireland, who I consider to be progressive, open and accepting people as a whole. Case in point, we all know the DUP are homophobic. However, polls have shown that 70% of Northern Ireland's population are in favour of same-sex marriage. Despite this, the DUP have used their power in Northern Ireland to push their own extremist religious stances on LGBT issues, as well as other issues such as abortion, but that's already been well covered today. This is the party that from their very foundation has ran homophobic campaigns such as, and this is my favourite, the Save Ulster from Sodomy campaign in the 70s. These acts of hatred against the LGBT community have been well sustained, but now manifest themselves in the form of repressive legislation which attacks the rights of LGBT individuals. For example, in 2012, the DUP opposed letting gay men donate blood under any circumstances. In 2015, when Northern Ireland democratically voted to legalise same-sex marriage, the DUP vetoed this on the grounds of concern, and in 2014 they tried and thankfully failed to implement legislation allowing people to discriminate against LGBT people in shops, restaurants and hotels on the grounds of religious freedom. On top of this, a wide variety of DUP politicians have often used their platform to focalise the humanising and fascist scaremongering statements against LGBT people. For example, Aris Robinson in 2008 said on the radio that homosexuals are foul and the only thing more disgusting than child abuse. Jim Wells in 2015 during an election hustings also said that gay people should not be allowed to adopt on the grounds that they are more likely to abuse and neglect children. The party leader at the time, Peter Robinson, backed up these comments by saying that they are reflective of the views of the Almighty.
In 2015, most of us were at an anti-austerity demo in London, and Corbyn had just been nominated leader of the party. And I remember most of us actually thinking, this guy is never going to get elected. Impossible. And we were wrong. The reason why we thought that, because we thought the Labour Party establishment, the oligarchs, the media mongrels, would never let such a principled man become anywhere near to power in this country. And I suppose we find ourselves in a really remarkable place, where in just a couple of months, we could elect a socialist and anti-apartheid activist to be the leader of this country. More so, we could elect a government which will abolish tuition fees, reinitiate maintenance grants, fund our schools, renationalise the railways, build social housing, fund our NHS, fund social care, protect our pensioners, bring back the NHS bursaries and adopt a foreign policy of upholding human rights and international law. So in the next few months, just as Young Labour will do everything it possibly can, talk to everyone we know, to make them understand the reasons for voting Labour. We'll do it for the man to the student debt they put us in. We'll do it for the family who's been forced to use food banks. We'll do it for the children who are sitting hungry in their classrooms. For the single mother cradling her child, struggling to pay the bills. We'll do it for the nurse who treats us with a smile, covering the fact that she can't afford the rent. We'll do it for the school teacher who's heartbroken to get to their mental health. We'll do it for the junior doctor who's forced to a contract with no bar, no safe. For the homeless people sleeping outside buildings that are empty. For the disabled people being forced into poverty with their allowance cuts. And for the refugee child gasping for air as he fights the depths of the Mediterranean Sea. We'll do it because we care, because we believe in a better world, and that world is worth fighting for. And I'll leave you with this poem. Poem was stuck with me after the election campaign, and that is rise, rise like lions after slumber, in unvanquishable number. Shake your chains to the earth like dew. which in sleep had fallen you. Ye are the many, they are the few.